Today I decided to learn how to draw. I haven't drawn since I was a kid, so I haven't drawn for about 20 years. And even then I wasn't particularly that good at drawing anything. Not knowing where to start, I decided to do a quick search online to find some prompts. As I wanted to start with something simple, I settled down with this circle and square shapes and see how realistic I'm going to be able to make them. So I started drawing simple squares and circles, tried to do the most stable circle and stable square. Once I was happy with the circles and square, I went to give them a little bit more volume, adding some shading and adding some 3 dimensions to make it a ball and a cube. It was a little bit experimental. I'm not sure, didn't know what to expect, but it still looks like a ball and it looks like a cube. So generally speaking, I'm kind of okay with it. Then I wanted to try something a little bit more complex and I decided to try drawing a face. I didn't base myself on any model, I just went forward and decided to draw whatever came to mind. I guess that's why in the end it looks like a cartoon, because there is no real model on which I base myself. The next day I went to try drawing someone running. I based myself on a tutorial I found online, so I started with some quick sketches based on the tutorial. Then I wanted to draw someone as if he was about to run out of the paper. Eventually I decided to make him escape from someone chasing him, and I think it turned okay. When drawing, proportions are among the most difficult things. So I wanted to draw something naturally completely out of proportions, just for fun. So I took a picture of myself from very close and did a silly face to make it look completely weird. This way, if I screw up the drawing, I can always say it's because the model is so bizarre. I know it looks pretty stupid, but I think it looks pretty good at the same time. Now that I was trying to get more comfortable with drawing, I wanted to try something a little bit more difficult, with more complexity, more interactions into the drawing. In the spirit of Challengers community, I wanted to have a team of people holding a cup victorious of whatever competition there was. As a side note, it's actually quite difficult to find a team holding a cup. Most of the time when there's a team that is winning, the captain of the team is holding the cup and everyone on the side is just like posing for the photo. So it's usually one person holding the cup with everyone on the side, which I find really silly. Eventually I found this picture where there's 4 people around the cup, which I find really nice, and you can feel the interaction, the spirit of the team to bring the victorious team together as one. And so I decided to draw the 4 people in the middle, which I think is a kind of sense of cohesion. It was actually very difficult because every person is related to the other one. So if you put it a little bit higher, a little bit lower, put one person a little bit offset, it's going to completely break down the proportions of the drawing. So it's actually very important to have everything correctly placed, and it took me a few attempts and corrections to have everything proportioned correctly before I could move on into finalizing the drawing. Moving on to the lining and the shading before finalizing the drawing. I think the result is not too bad. It's like, I like the interactions of the people and you feel the emotions they have with this drawing. But the faces are just not quite there yet. I still need a little bit of practice to make them more realistic. For the last day I want to work on speed and give myself a meta challenge, I would say. A challenge into the challenge. I'm going to take a photo of myself and I'm going to draw in 10 minutes, and then I'll draw again in 1 minute, and the final attempt I will have only 10 seconds. For the first drawing of 10 minutes, there's actually plenty of time, so I took the time to put some references, get proportion as correct as possible, and then I moved into more details and finished with some shadows. So pretty normal drawing process, I would say, just that 10 minutes is a little bit short. So when I was doing the lining at the end, I actually completely screwed up the nose and the ear. The nose and the ear were actually better before I finished drawing. But generally speaking, I find that this 10 minutes drawing is actually pretty good. I didn't think I would be able to do anything near as good as this. Next up is the 1 minute drawing. Now we're getting into the serious stuff. In 1 minute, you don't have time to put on some reference or anything. So you go straight into the drawing and you know that every line you put down are going to be definitive lines. There's no going back, there's no corrections. Drawing the hair and the beard in such a short time is very difficult, and we can see that the hair especially took a toll of it. It's like it looks like I'm starting to get bald on this drawing, and even maybe I'm wearing a wig on this drawing, I'm not sure. And to the main piece, the 10 seconds drawing. I tried to plan a little bit in advance. You obviously don't have time to think. Your hand needs to go directly to what you want to draw and needs to be able to draw in one swoop. Again, there's obviously no correction. Whatever there is going to be definitive, and there's a need to be able to simplify as much as possible. Here again, the beard, there was no time for it, and the hair, I barely had time to do anything, and it doesn't really look like hair at all. But for 10 seconds, it looks like a face. There's the direction of the face that is correct. We don't really recognize me, but there is the general idea. I think for 10 seconds, it's a success. Maybe for next time, I'll try shaving my beard and maybe shaving my hair. This will make the drawing a lot easier. And this is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun making it. I had a lot of fun learning how to draw, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. I will see you on the next one. Cheers.